Here we are at www.stakingkings.com, where the key to winning consistently is staking your bets correctly. Staking Kings is your key to success. Today we're going to concentrate on the Money Factory. Now if you go down and click that, you'll find a help file, and that'll tell you everything you need to know about setting up your Money Factory systems and the like. But first, what I'm going to do here, if you haven't already done it, when you go to account, you should be able to go to locations and accounts. Now the idea of this is adding all the places where you've got TAB accounts. For example, you might have one on New South Wales TAB, and you can add that one in. You might have one at Sportsbet, so you can add that one in. You might have an account at BetEasy, so you can add that one, and so on and so on. So, well, I suppose you might have one with VicTab, okay, and you might have one with the Queensland tab, which is now called UBet. Clever, hey? Okie doke. So we've done that. We want to create a system in Money Factory. So, new system. We can call it whatever we like. We can call it My System. How's that? Whoop. And any notes you wish to add. Okay. And what you might be doing is looking at races in which your top two horses are fairly close in rated prices. So, looking at top two when both close. Okie doke. A profit goal, we might want to say, okay, let's say we want to make $100, and we reckon with strike rate we can probably get about, say, 40% winners. And we probably expect to get a dividend of about $2.50, and we might just want to operate one column. Now the interesting thing about this, if you wanted to have several races bet during the day and you didn't have time to look at them, you could place your bets in the morning by creating a plan with up to 10 columns. That way you could put your bets in each of those columns. At the end of the day, put your results in those columns, and then the next day your bets will be recalculated for the next day's action, depending on what they are. But we'll work on just the one column in this video. Calculate the system data, and it's telling us that we'll start with a divisor of 5. Our first bet's going to be $20. We're going to use a bank of $5,000. Now obviously we can make smaller banks and smaller initial bets, but this is just to keep the numbers fairly even. Our divisor is going to change after 11 bets. However, maybe you can change that or not. No, you can't. It's set. If you were going to change it, that would change according to what your system details would be. Now, you can have a minimum bet size and a maximum bet size. Now, if you put a minimum bet size in, say you wanted to start with a $50 bet, you would have to reset the system, because then it would need a bigger bank. If you have a maximum bet size, it won't affect any of those figures. But say, for example, you weren't comfortable betting more than $100 a race, you could put that figure in there and it would reset it for you. Okay, let's create the system. The system's starting, so we'll go down to here and we'll go to the betting screen. Now don't forget, everything is up here in black. As soon as you highlight it, it turns white so that you can see it in the background. Let's go to betting now. Alright, we're going to go to My System. Now, looking at Rosehill last Saturday, in race 3, well actually it was Saturday the 29th of November, depends when you're viewing this. You can see that our top two horses here, Mesmerizer is rated $4, Dublin Lass is rated $4.20. The prices available before the jump are $4.40 and $3.20. We know we're going to have a good chance of the result. As it happened, we were able to get the winner. However, let's concentrate on putting these into the program. Okay. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to have a Dutch bet on those two horses, and we put the date in. Now, if we're on the day itself, that date would automatically go in. The venue is Rosehill, and it's race 3. You can just use these if you like. Our outlay is $20, we confirm that. Okay, we don't know what percentage is because we haven't entered the horses, so let's have a look at the first horse, which is number 4, Mesmerizer. So 4, and the dividend showing is $4.40. So we add that one to the list. and we put that down. That just happened to be the TAB price at the time, the fixed price at the time within New South Wales tab. When we put in the second horse, we can see that that one was $3.20, also at the New South Wales tab. What did I say the horse number was? It was number 3, and $3.20. So we add that to the list. Now we can see here that we're outlaying 53%. Okie doke. We can confirm that and save that Dutch bet. Alright, now the race is run, and as it happens it's won. We'll enter the result. Now, we show the bet information so you know what horses we were backing, and as it happened was, the winner was number 3. Now, the price we got at the time was $3.20, even though it came in later to $2.70. We're on it for $3.20, and we're able to now save that. Now, had there been no dividend, we would have only had to press the save screen option. Now, we outlaid $20. Our profit on the race is $15. Every time the column here goes green, the idea is that you rule off the column. So even though you only made $15 this time, as things progress in this plan, sometimes you might find when you've placed a bet, it might have been in a race where the dividends were much higher. And so as a consequence, the return you get on the profit might be the $100 you were trying for, or it might be $150. The main thing is, every time that it goes green, that's the time to rule off the column. Okay, we're going to rule that off. Now I'm just going to put some bets in at random. Okay, so I'm just going to call it a win bet, and we're going to our program here, see what the next race was, and we'll call it YG3, YG race number 3, and the horse number in this one was number 2. See, I actually want this horse to lose. Now let's say we bet it there. We add the bet. Okay, we go to enter the result. We just hit the button, lost. Okay, so it tells us we're a little bit behind. Alright, let's have another one bet. But we'll go to the very next race, and here it's Doomben race 2, number 5. Doomben, race 2, horse 5, add the bet, enter the result, lost. The reason I'm doing this, we want to get some losers in and just so we can see the progress of things. Hawkesbury race 3, there our top horse is $4.70. Okay, add that in as a win bet. And Hawkesbury race 3, was it number 3? It was number 6. Okay, so we can go back and change that. 6, we can add that bet, we enter the result, we know it lost. Okay. And so on and so on. If we go to Moonee Valley race 4, number 4. Okay. Moonee Valley race 4, number 4, and the win bet there, so we can add the bet. And now we're going to enter the result, and we have a look here, and we can see that the horse paid $3.60 best tote. It was only $3.20 was the fixed price. However, you can see here that it was $3.80 before the race. So let's think about whether we took the $3.80 and when we bet that for the win, we can see now that the column has changed. We've gone from losing to making a profit of $25. And what it said here is that our profit goal has reduced to 75. Our divisor has dropped right down there. It's now only 2.2 after that result. Our next bet is going to be $34. It says the number of bets since we last made a profit, since we last ruled off our column, was 4. And we've got 7 bets to go before our divisor changes. So what happens is, if we go for all those bets and we still haven't made a profit, the divisor will change, so this figure will change by adding on our normal divisor. If it happened to be right now, that divisor would increase to 7.2. However, because we're in profit, we're going to be able to rule off the column. But before I do that, I'm going to show you the reports function. Let's have a look and see where we are. Current system reports, and we only have the one system in. And what it's showing us here is a summary of what we've done on that particular thing, plus all the bets we've placed and where we've placed them. Now we can print that system report out, and then we can delete all the bets. But what we're going to do now, we're just going to go back to Money Factory, back to betting, and back to my system. And here we are. We can now rule off that column. Okay, so we rule it off. Now, if we have a look here, we can look at our master report, which is all the betting we've done since we created my system. So our total number of bets were 5. The two winners, our strike rate was 40%, our average dividend was $2.78. Our profit on turnover, or return on investment, is 31. Okay, so that's a basic explanation. Now, if I was to look here at all columns, I'd still get the same result. But if we were using several different columns, when I press the All Columns button, it would show a list of all the columns that we've closed off so far. So I hope that's been an assistance to you. Now, don't forget, you can go back to your account screen or your Staking Kings screen, and you can look down here and you can look at your help files, which basically tells you everything I've told you. Okie doke. Except you'll be able to have a look through that and have a look individually at all those items that we've recently discussed. Thanks for having a look.